I'm at the office today. What, you look all dressed up again.
No, no. Well, for a start, I have to borrow most of my mother's clothes. So that means that I am dressed up. But I'm covered in cat hairs because I've been here 2 weeks, so now the cat's kind of outside, but the cat only comes out when the dogs are inside. So I was sitting outside talking to Neil on the phone, and then the cat came and has this weird thing of I have to rub her, and then she immediately turns around, I have to rub her again, and then she immediately turns around, I have to rub her again. And this kind of basically back and forth must continue for about 20 minutes, or else she'll scratch me. So now I'm here. Anyway.
Yeah, you look like a lint brush.
Two dogs, two cats, a fox that we must feed every night, which is obviously
the
not
bird in the store.
The bird in the store, the official bird, also the real bird in the store, which is a bird in a cage. Called Charlie Bird, and he's like a little Charlie Bird, and he's, I think, some kind of a canary. Yeah, there we go. So far.
And then do you have wild animals out at your mom's place, like deer and stuff?
There is a deer. There's at least 2 deer, but they don't seem to heed those. I have a feeling there might be a horse or a pony at some stage. I'm sure.
A horse or a pony.
Oh, yeah, there will be a pony at some stage. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, once they retire, they'll have time to take care of a horse or a pony, huh?
Yeah. Dad's getting worried that he won't have enough to do when he retires.
Oh, that means he's really thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm helping them do some jazzy text for the estate realtor this week.
Oh, good. So you think by the time you leave, they will have put it on the market?
I don't know. Nothing happens that fast here. But of course, then tonight's discussion was, oh my God, the house upstairs, I said, okay, if we're going to put it on the market, then the house upstairs has to be, we're going to get a contract cleaner in. And then
you mean over the shop? There's a house over the shop?
Yeah, which we used to live in.
Right. I vaguely remember that, but I don't think we went up and looked at it.
You didn't go upstairs because my mother wouldn't have let me take you up there. But it's a beautiful house, townhouse, like. But when my parents moved into this house in 2003, mm-hmm. 2002, they just walked away from the house above the shop and moved into this house. And
so like 15 years ago. So there's like the couch from 15 years ago is still sitting there? Or?
No, some furniture and their books and like a lot of stuff. And this house is full of shit as well. And so it's just like so I've said that we need to go into the house, take out everything we need, and then just pay a house clearance company to come and take away the rest. So I've only got 2 weeks left. So
Is it nice enough stuff that you could do like an estate sale kind of thing?
That doesn't really happen in Ireland.
That doesn't really happen in
People
Ireland,
don't. Huh? No, people don't buy each other's shit. Like charity shops are only just taking off now. Like traditionally, people didn't like to buy secondhand because it was a sign they were poor.
Huh. Isn't that interesting?
And you couldn't let people know that you were poor. Yeah. It's only in the last decade that charity shops are now. There were always 1 or 2 charity shops. So like when I worked for Oxfam in Dublin, there were 6 charity shops around the country. In the whole country, 6
in the whole
shops.
Country.
Whereas in most towns in the UK, there are 6 in the whole country. Whereas in the UK, there are like 6 Oxfam shops in most towns. You know,
so even like I guess if it's just not usual, but like you couldn't like even post photos of stuff that's available and say you can come get it for free? Like, could you?
You could do that. You could do that in the big city. My mother doesn't want to bring the stuff to the charity shop because she saw a woman wearing one of her outfits from the charity shop. And I'm like, yeah. And then apparently apparently one of the women that runs one of the charity shops in town, it's the Alzheimer's shop. When my mother brought stuff before, the woman in the shop went, "Oh my God, people are going to be so excited that Teresa Cunningham has brought clothes to the Alzheimer's shop." And my mum was so mortified that she didn't go back. Because she's mortified that people like are really keen to know when her clothes are coming into the shop so they can buy them secondhand. And I'm like, it's kind of a compliment, Mum. She goes,
I
"Oh,
know.
no,
That's what I was thinking too.
No,
It doesn't feel that
like,
way. Yeah.
It's embarrassing because she is embarrassed by the fact that she's known for having such nice clothes. But then, like, well, then why do you buy nice clothes? Anyway, it's fine. It's very sweet. So she's very happy today because we drove to the hospital, county hospital, and she had an X-ray this morning. So she doesn't have a fractured arm. She has frozen shoulder. So, which
what is frozen shoulder related to stress?
No, its medical name is hang on. SHOULDER, shoulder. It's called, I thought it's like giving someone the cold shoulder, but she's like, ha ha ha. No, frozen shoulder is known as adhesive capsulitis. It's stiffness and pain in your shoulder joint. But it's become it's kind of worsened over the last 2 months, and it's really painful now. She can't move her right arm at all. She's carrying. She's like that.
Yeah.
That's so. So they're going to give her a cortisone injection on Monday and start physio. So it should be fine.
Yeah. Is that just to do with getting old?
I think so. Well, she fell. She tripped over the dogs. One day when she was bringing them for a walk, and she went forward, and I think she just put
yeah
so she had a bit she had a bit of trauma in that. Yeah, so I think that started it, and then it's just sitting. So it's kind of good in a way because it's like made my dad realize that, they gotta go, they gotta leave.
Right. So Rosalind, I just have to say, I want all of your jewelry. Like, I love your red ring.
Oh, yeah.
And then what is going on with your funky earrings? You've got like a star and is that just by mistake, or are you wearing mismatched earrings on?
That way. No. This is the star and this is the moon, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love them.
It's easier to wear jewelry when nothing else fits you, but well, I am wearing clothes, but you know what I mean? really. So, but tell me, how are your folks?
Well, I was there for 4th of July, and maybe I didn't speak to you then, but
no.
I think, I mean, living in that retirement community, place that my folks live in is so good for my mom. It's so good for her. She, she knows everybody and is, going to, do little things here and there. And particularly now that they're out of COVID, she's like got a full schedule. Physically, she's definitely declining.
I thought in the photograph that I could see that from when I met her a few years ago.
Yeah, she's just having, more arthritis, and she's always had kind of breathing issues. So like asthma and stuff like that. And so she gets really short of breath. And I think it really is like old age and not being in the best shape. And then my dad, continues to be just depressed and like feels like he has nothing to live for. I think, and regretting a lot of his decisions in life. So that's hard to be around.
That's hard to hear.
Yeah. And it's been for like the last year and a half. So he can't get his, he gave up his whole shop when they left Springfield. And I kind of realized how much that would affect him, but I think it's affected him more. I didn't realize the extent to which it kind of would debilitate him. So he can't be kind of out tinkering and stuff. Although there was no way they could have stayed living in Springfield. They were, and when I think about how isolated they would have been in COVID, you know, they were in a community where they didn't know anybody. My mom was super isolated. They were in a house that
didn't like anybody, right?
Didn't like anybody. You know, the house wasn't accessible. I think my mom couldn't have gotten up and down the stairs even, or really gone outside that much in that house. So all the, you know, they just picked the wrong thing, which is where my dad has all these like regrets and beats himself up and stuff. But it's just, it's a reminder to like plan the end of your life well, like really be realistic about, like they had a dream that was not going to be fulfilled by that move. But I mean, that's kind of like the story of their life. So anyway, so my dad is, and my dad has had, you know, various health issues. So he's still got this skin cancer on his head that he has to get dealt with every, you know, every 6 months or so. He has to get like skin surgery to cut away those cancerous cells. And he's had some major dental work done. And I don't think I even mentioned to anybody, but he had a heart attack about 6 weeks ago. It was over Memorial Day. And it was very quickly dealt with a stint. Like he was just one night in the hospital and like jumped out of bed and felt great the next day. But there was a complication of where the stent went in through the artery that, for a range of reasons, because it was on a holiday and then there was a scheduling issue and blah, blah, blah. But the complications from this stint lasted for another month of him being in. It like basically caused internal bleeding into the muscle that was extremely painful and delayed. So anyway, so I think that, you know, him not being able to do his walk and all of that stuff is like, I mean, I'm the same way. So I, you know, and then he has to have cataract surgery. But with all of this, he's been saying to me for like 6 months or something, oh, I found this place where I can go water skiing in Florida. And it's basically like a flat lake, and it's got cables up above, and you basically hang on to a tow rope and it goes around in a circle.
Oh, cool.
And I've actually seen that in Singapore. So I knew exactly what he was talking about. And I was like, well, like, do you have to drive to Florida? Like what? And he was like, yes, this is the best one in the nation. And it's like 15 hours driving away. Right. And so I told my sister, and, you know, in addition to us being a little bit worried that he's 85 years old and going to go, you know, try to water ski, I was like, just tell me, Dad, when you're thinking of going, I'll send Z with you or whatever. And then my sister, of course, started looking up, there must be something closer. And of course, she finds like 5 places that are within like a 5-hour drive of him. But no, none of these places are as good as Florida.
His expectations are way.
So on Sunday, what is today? Like Thursday, or maybe on Friday, I call him, and my mom answers the phone and says, oh, your father's packing the car for a trip. And I was like, well, where's he going? And she's like, I don't know. He says he's going to Florida to go water skiing. I've never heard of this. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Mom? We talk about it like every single time we talk, or every other time we talk about this thing. And like this, I've looked at the place, Heather's Google. My mom's like, I've never heard of it. I don't know. And so
it's such a mother.
I know. I mean, it's such like a thing of like, wait a minute, you guys live in this anyway.
Yeah, but if someone talks about something crazy they're going to do, you just switch off, right? I mean,
I guess so. Yeah. So my dad comes back in and he's like, yep, the car's packed up. And then of course he's like, I'm like, you're going to drive 15 hours? Yeah, I'm going to drive. And I put a mattress in the back of my van so I can like sleep in a rest area. I'm just like, oh my God. Like this is like a teenager's trip. And it's my 85-year-old dad.
I guess that's, yeah.
Yeah, so he did it. So he went down Monday. He went skiing Monday morning at 10 a.m. He was glad he's glad he did it, but he's not going to go back because it's not nearly as exciting, of course, as going behind a boat.
There's a surprise. Yeah.
And then he drove back. And that was it. So that's how he is.
Yeah, but he survived.
He survived. I mean, I was kind of like, with Lucy's dad dying in that car accident, I was a little bit like, well, I guess if he dies in a skiing accident at the age of 85, like, what can I do?
And I mean, yeah. And I guess, I mean, the fact that he's on a quest of some sort for some kind of, holy grail is great in a way, because it sounds like the rest of the time he's bored,
he's miserable. Yeah. But his boat that we would normally ski behind, he's got, of course, like a 1950s boat with a rebuilt engine, and it's so unique that nobody but him can fix this boat. But because he doesn't have his shop, he can't fix it. So, every time I talk to him, he's like wringing his hands about, I can't fix this boat. I'm just like, then fucking sell the boat and buy a new boat, Dad. I don't know what to tell you. Like, just so all summer he's like, well, can't fix the boat. So I don't even, like, they always summer in Wisconsin, and he's like, I don't even know why. I don't even know why I'd go to Wisconsin if I don't have the boat. No point.
Because they always stay in the same, your like family, extended family's house. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. My mom says they're going to Wisconsin. My dad has grudgingly agreed because his friend is throwing a party while he's there. But my mom was trying to get us to come and join them last minute. And it's crazy right now. Like, to try to fly anywhere right now is so expensive. But I tried to kind of make it work with my kids, and anyway, it didn't work. And I said to my dad, like, I'm so sorry, we're not going to be able to come. He's like, it's fine. I don't even know what we're going to be doing there. I'm like, well, I don't know, like hanging out on the porch next to the, like, I don't know.
The people that you've known for many years. And
So that's how
it just sounds like he's been a bit of a curmudgeon, really, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's tense between me and my sister because I maybe have mentioned this before, but like, I've definitely gotten closer to my dad, and she has all these terrible memories of my dad being an asshole to her. And she's always like, don't you remember like how mean he was, or how like self-centered? And I'm like, no, I mean, I just don't remember that. I think it's partially that I don't have a great memory, and I just kind of let bad memories float away. And I'm just not as sensitive in the moment. Childhood. Yeah, and I'm just not as.
But also people do have different experiences, even if they grow up in the same family, right? They have different experiences with their parents from their siblings. I mean, sadly, it is the way it is. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So that's how they are. Yeah. Thanks for
asking. Maybe he'll get his mojo back in some stage. A new hobby or a new focus of attention.
Yeah. I was hoping after that heart attack that he would get on an antidepressant. I was like, when he had the heart attack, I was like, Dad, like stress and depression are related. You should get on an antidepressant. It's not a sign of weakness, because we've talked about it so many times. And his heart doctor was like, oh no, there's no science that says those two things are related. I know. I was just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, because it's not like his life has changed that much significantly. I mean, yes, going into the retirement village and all of that, but it is interesting how your mother's outlook, how it works for her, but it doesn't work for him. And yet you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure there are interesting blokes that he can hang out with and have a, you know, men to men things
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd think so. Anyhow, I have to get going to go to happy hour.
Oh,
with
well done.
2 of my
Online?
colleagues. No,
Oh, no,
we're
really?
actually, I'm at the office. We met to
Cool.
have an in-person meeting, and stuff is like we're going to an outdoor beer garden. So,
Oh, nice.
and all 3
Lovely.
of us are vaccinated. So,
Well, I'll let you go. Shall we do a quick
yes,
kindness?
yes, we shall.